rAVe Radio. With Rants and rAVes, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is Rants and rAVes with Gary K.
Hi, this is Gary K, and I want to welcome you to a special demo edition of my Rants and rAVes podcast. I love it when we talk about products, but I also love it when we show products. And I have Tim Garber, who is the Director of Professional Development for Newline, with one of my favorite new products during the pandemic. I have to be honest with you there, Tim. The Flex, and the reason why I love the Flex, which is a personal UCC display, have to be selfish here. I predicted that 2021 would be the year we'd see a bunch of personal UCC displays at the beginning of the year with my annual predictions article, because I knew that people working from home wouldn't want to share that real estate of their monitor, their laptop screen with a UCC platform all day long. So congratulations. And first off, what's the Flex for people that don't know? Because the commercial AV industry may not even know about this product.
Well, first of all, Gary, you're an oracle for having come up with that prediction. Absolutely. It's, yes, because we're living in the world that's been upside down now for a while. And so for those who don't know, Flex is your desktop collaboration experience. So the way that I like to put it to folks is, if you think about what we do at Newline Interactive, we're known for the big displays, right? The big interactive displays where you're in your conference rooms, your classrooms, your huddle spaces, and all the wonderful things that those do and that you can accomplish in the group experience. Now condense that down to a 27-inch desktop monitor with goodies that we're going to talk about here in a moment. And that is essentially what we're talking about, the desktop collaboration experience.
Yeah, and basically you're taking your large screen, 55-inch, just like you put in a conference room, and shrunk it down to 1/4 the size, and it can be put anywhere. It can be on. The cool thing about this, it could be in your home office, it could be in your cubicle, and it can also be in co-working spaces, sort of scattered around the facility. So tell me why you think, I have an idea myself, why you think this is a perfect product because of COVID.
Because for one thing, Gary, it's very, very, well, first of all, let's talk about what you just said. You can put it anywhere where you have a workspace. Is your workspace in the office? Is your workspace someplace else? Flex can live there because it is effectively a desktop monitor at the end of the day, even with all the other goodies that we're going to talk about. But the fact that you have, as the name would imply, the flexibility to get work done, working with content, either creating content or working with existing content, having meetings, doing it the way that we've been doing it with the world being upside down, being in Zoom, being in WebEx, whatever you're standardized on, and having that all in one place. That, Gary, is really where the magic is. All you have to do is connect a source. And just so you know, I've got this little ultra portable that I connected to the Flex via USB Type-C. We'll talk more about that. But that's really the long and the short of it, Gary, is that you use it the way that you would use your desktop monitor. But oh, by the way, it also has unified collaboration, mine with the camera and the microphone array built
in. And what's interesting about this is, I'm an advocate of the product. I like the product a lot. I think it's a great niche product. I think it's a product that every AV integrator should say, oh, by the way, we also have this thing. So while we're doing your room, while we're helping you get back to the office, by the way, everyone in your C-suite or all your managers should have this at home. And I think if they'd mention it to their customers, the customers would buy it. Like, you don't even have to really sell this thing. You just have to say, hey, by the way, this exists. Because a lot of people don't know it exists. But there's a couple of features on it that I want to answer that I got some feedback on when I did my own video unboxing of this product. One is 4K camera. People are like, why would a 4K camera when you can't even do UCC in 4K? Well, that's not necessarily true. Pexip does allow you to do 4K, but here's what my answer is. My answer is, if you're doing corporate training or you're leading webinar kind of stuff, 4K, the value of 4K is it allows you to do fake live, where you're actually able to record yourself doing the training and then allow it to be played in a Zoom meeting or allow it to be played in any other platform or posted directly to YouTube, and you maintain that resolution. So even though the UCC platforms don't support UK, number one, 4K they will eventually, but number two, you get that application of a 4K camera recording.
Yes, and Gary, that's a very Gary answer, by the way. And it's also, yes, it's absolutely the type of application that one would think of if we're thinking about doing that kind of work. But Gary, I got another one for you that's equally straightforward, in that this camera also, and I've got it running HD right now, so I've got it running in, we're doing Zoom here in full HD, and you can see very wide angle. I
Right.
could have a couple of friends with me. So we call it the individualized experience, and absolutely it is, but that doesn't mean that I can't have a couple of friends with me and they can
For
join in.
huddle space. Yeah, huddle space application.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
why you have echo cancellation and a mic array built into it as
Yep,
well.
right there at
And
the
the-
top of
and
the
the
bezel for the
camera-
microphone arrays. Yep.
The camera has the coolest auto tilting feature because you use your fingers. And so you
Yes.
basically
It's-
tilt it yourself
There
because
you
it's right in
go.
front of you.
There's your tilt. Yeah,
I
very
wish
simple.
every laptop had that. I wish, because I can't tell you how many times I've had to
I know you
readjust
do with the screen.
my laptop
We've all been there, Gary. We've
and
all
we're
been
at
there.
this. You're at this weird angle, so I love
Yeah.
that. So yes, it's simple. It's using capacitive touch. Now there's a bunch of different touch technologies out there, but the reason why it's using capacitive touch is
Gives us access to Microsoft Pen protocol. So we can actually have the active stylus I've got in my hand right here. So I've got just a simple Microsoft whiteboard up, and absolutely I can use the stylus to do this, and then use the active buttons on the stylus right here. I press that guy and I can make this erase. I can still use my finger to maneuver around the canvas. So yeah, having the ability, first of all, capacitive screens are wonderful just for their speed and accuracy by themselves. When you add MPP into the equation, now you really can get work done. You can do things with content that you are accustomed to doing
Yep.
regularly. And once again, here we are in this desktop collaboration system. So you've got it all right there, working with the pen, easy.
And you mentioned earlier about you've got that tablet, I think you have there, connected USB-C, or that laptop. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
Some kind of
Yeah, a
tablet
little
laptop.
ultra portable. It might be a convertible, I can't remember, but it's
Yeah.
just a little ultra portable.
So you're charging it, and you're also doing all the communications. And if it's touch, it'll do touchback, which is cool. And by the way, I don't even know if you know this, but I actually know that you can actually do touchback on a Mac, which is kind of cool.
I did know that.
Okay, because
You
you
can
have
do
this.
touchback on a Chromebook. You do touchback
okay,
on a
well,
Chromebook.
that'll be
Yes,
nice
I
and-
sometimes plug my little Chromebook into this guy and do that.
That'll be nice in schools, but it doesn't do anything in corporate.
That's
I don't know
true.
if it's
Okay,
caught
that's
on with
true.
Chromebook
You
yet.
got me
But
there.
yeah, but I think that the integrators need to know that, and then it is a second monitor, so you can use it as a second monitor for your desktop. It actually tilts. I don't know if you have the ability to show that.
Yeah, it does. It does. I can go ahead. See, you can see. I don't know if you can see this real well. I am moving it. I don't know if that actually shows up on camera, but the idea behind that, Gary, is of course because we're talking about Microsoft Pen protocol, because there is palm rejection.
Yeah.
Being able to get the screen into a comfortable place where you can put your hand on the screen and write like a normal person. That's the idea behind that. So.
Yeah, in fact, you can actually, I did this when we had it in our office. Actually, we still have it in our office, but you can actually sign it, like sign documents with it, and actually have a signature, which is kind of cool. I did that. But look, Tim, this is a great product. I think the AV industry should embrace this and go for it. One neat thing about this compared to, there's a few others that have been introduced. Yours is universal. It's not dedicated for one platform. And you actually have the new SMD. Is it
SDM, Smart
SDM?
Display Module. Now, to be clear, there's no product yet. We're working really, really hard, Gary, really hard here to make product happen. But yes, if you think about the big panels, for those familiar with the OPS, right, the Open Pluggable Specification, that form factor like that fits into those big panels in that slot. Same kind of thing here, except even thinner. So Smart Display Module, Flex is ready for that. You can effectively give the Flex, when the product is available, you can give the Flex its own PC.
Yeah, and that ultimately what will happen is other manufacturers will make those SDMs for Android, which will handle Teams as well as Zoom as well as Windows, and I think you'll have that be more like OPS is. But check it all out at newlineinteractive.com. I believe it's newlineinteractive.com.
Newline-interactive.com. You were close.
Dash, there you go. Newline-interactive.com. It is the Flex. Tim, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having Newline on, Gary.
rAVe Radio. With Rants and rAVes, you'll